Hi, my name is Kim Case, and I'm the Northwest Regional Impact Manager for myFutureNC. I'm so excited to share the latest educational attainment data and the pathway for our region to create opportunities for all, while we do our part to contribute to the statewide goal of 2 million by 2030. Most recent data show that almost 62,000 residents aged 25 to 44 in our region hold a college degree or an industry-valued credential. I'm proud to say we're making progress, but there is so much work to be done. As you can see in the graph, a breakdown of our residents' attainment shows that we have 22,000 residents who have some college but no degree, and about 41,000 who only have a high school diploma. Even with the progress we're making in our region, we still have a gap to fill, and not all counties are experiencing this attainment growth. To ensure our region remains economically competitive now and into the future, we need 90,000 residents aged 25 to 44 to hold a degree or credential by 2030. That's our part, the Northwest region's part in the 2 million goal, and we're currently over 28,000 away from that target. So how can we fill the gap? To figure out where we're losing students along the education to workforce continuum, let's first look at our region's educational leaky pipeline. Only 29 out of 100 ninth grade public school students in the Northwest graduate high school on time, then enroll in college on time, and finally earn a degree or credential within 6 years of high school graduation. This education pipeline shows a painful reality. Too many students are dropping out at different places in the pipeline. However, this gives us the data that we need to determine where change and student support are needed most. Now let's walk through a student's journey, starting with academic readiness. Only 29% of our region's 3rd through 8th graders are college and career ready in reading, and only 37% are college and career ready in math. These staggering outcomes are directly linked to high chronic absenteeism. Most data show that 32% of our students missed more than 10% of the school days. That's almost 1 of every 3 students. And as we know, chronically absent students are much more likely to drop out of school. In the 2022 school year alone, 600 of the Northwest high schoolers dropped out. And as a result, many of our students experience the first leak of the educational pipeline, and they don't even finish high school. On to the next transition point, college and career access. High school students in North Carolina have an amazing opportunity to earn college credits or credentials while in high school. This can ultimately help reduce an individual's cost for a college degree. They do this by enrolling in College and Career Promise, or CCP. In the Northwest region, over 4,000 graduates participated in the College and Career Promise program. These students are opening doors for their future, whether it's college next or straight to a career. Another important step in college affordability is the completion of the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This is required to unlock federal and state need-based grant opportunities, as well as many scholarships. During the FAFSA cycle last year, 60% of Northwest seniors completed a FAFSA application, which is slightly lower than the state average. We are leaving money on the table for our region's students, so it's important that we encourage every student to complete that FAFSA as an important first step toward college enrollment. This last leak in the pipeline is workforce alignment. Our education systems must align with employer needs so students graduate with the skills required to fill higher paying jobs, and so employers have the talented workforce to meet their needs. Currently, only 42% of our region's 25 to 44-year-olds earn a living wage, or just enough to cover necessary expenses. In Caldwell County, for example, that would be approximately $32,000. To see the living wage threshold in all counties, scan the QR code shown on this slide. When students are not academically prepared and don't see a pathway to college or a career, they often become disengaged and begin missing school. Oftentimes, they end up dropping out or even disconnecting from society. In our region, there are over 9,500 young adults ages 16 to 24 who are not in school or working. These are our opportunity youth, and a staggering amount, over 1 in every 8 young adults, is disconnected within our region. Next, I want to show you why we need to take action now and work toward achieving our attainment goal. This isn't just for the present, but it's also critical for our future. By 2030, the overall population in our region is projected to increase to almost 652,000, and it's expected to continue growing to 714,000 by 2050. At the same time, our working age population, specifically those aged 25 to 44, projects a 5% increase between 2010 and 2030, and a slight increase from 2030 to 2050. We need to be prepared, and our local businesses, industries, colleges, and universities all need to be ready to accommodate the booming population. While not every county is experiencing the same level of growth, employers don't really care about county lines, so it's important that we have an educated and skilled workforce across the entire region so that we have skilled Northwest residents filling and creating Northwest jobs. Now let's look at the demographic shifts in the region from 2010 to 2050. In our region, it's projected that the Hispanic population will increase by 6 percentage points, the Black population will increase by 2 percentage points, and at the same time, the white population will decrease by over 11 percentage points. As we think about the changing demographics in the Northwest, what does that mean for reaching North Carolina's educational attainment goal? It means that if we don't act with a sense of urgency, we will actually see a decline in educational attainment levels in our state. Currently, regional data is unavailable to show the demographic breakdown of attainment. However, NC data shows that 57% of the white population have a degree or credential, whereas only 25% of Hispanics have a degree or credential. With the Hispanic and Black populations in our region forecasted to increase, while the white population decreases in the next few decades, it's crucial that we work toward improving the achievement of the individuals in these demographics. If we don't, North Carolina's attainment will not only not increase, it will actually decline. While I've shared some staggering data, despite all the challenges we face, I assure you there is a path to prosperity for all our region's residents. And why? Because of you. Our employers and our residents need us to be successful, and if aligned and properly directed, we have the resources and the people to make it happen. We are fortunate to have strong public schools and a robust education and training infrastructure, including all the colleges and universities in the region that you see here. The workforce development boards, the councils of government, they offer multiple services for adults and youth that prepare the workforce in our region. As one example, we have a statewide initiative underway known as NC Reconnect. The John M. Belk Endowment is leading this effort in partnership with myFutureNC, our local community colleges, the NC State Belk Center, and the North Carolina Community College System. This collaborative project is to recruit adult learners with some college but no degree back to the classroom and help them complete what they started but never finished. To assist with affordability, the North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority provides a statewide FAFSA tracker to monitor and encourage FAFSA completions at each school. Last year, we collaborated with philanthropy and state agencies to coordinate the first ever statewide financial aid summit, where over 250 counselors, school leaders, and financial aid staff gathered to learn more from subject experts and to share challenges and successes that will ultimately help more students have access to an affordable education. As mentioned earlier, aligning the workforce with our education systems and training programs is critical. As such, we've partnered with multiple state agencies to identify workforce credentials, including the Department of Commerce, the Department of Public Instruction, the Governor's Office, and the Community College System Office. They're all working together with business and industry leaders to understand their needs and to offer training programs that lead to careers in demand that pay a family-sustaining wage. One of myFutureNC's strategic priorities is to identify and advocate for policy solutions. Our board has adopted the policy agenda shown here for the General Assembly's 2024 short session. Each of these priorities is supported by ongoing research from across our state and around the country, and they were developed alongside leaders from our education, business, and philanthropic communities. On the right-hand side of this chart, it shows where these priorities were identified based on their potential to move the needle on one or more of the three areas in which myFutureNC is placing big bets: on-time enrollment and persistence, adult learner enrollment and persistence, and labor market alignment. These policies are categorized under four headings: NC workforce credentials, access, persistence, and completion, local regional technical assistance, and partner support items, where myFutureNC has been asked to come alongside our partners on issues that we've advocated for in prior years and that need continued attention, such as NC pre-K funding, implementation of the science of reading in early grades, and implementation of career development plans for North Carolina K-12 students. Looking at the chart in front of you, we are first excited to build on the success of the North Carolina Workforce Credentials Initiative, which has identified more than 150 short-term, non-degree credentials that are industry valued by North Carolina employers, meaning they connect to strong employment opportunities and high-demand, high-growth jobs that pay a family-sustaining wage. In order to build on that success, we'll advocate for the work of this initiative to be supported permanently within the Department of Commerce, and for more financial aid to be provided to students pursuing industry-valued credentials. Non-degree training is not currently eligible for federal Pell or state need-based grants, and students often cannot afford this training, even though employers need workers with these credentials. We'll also be asking for increased support for work underway to develop a warehouse to better track employment outcomes tied to these credentials. Second on the policy agenda is access, persistence, and completion, where we'll be advocating for targeted assistance to help students persist and make it across the finish line to their credential or degree. Our third policy recommendation is for local regional technical assistance. We'll be advocating for funding to support grants that can spur local innovation by leveraging cross-sector community collaboratives. We invite all of you to join us in our advocacy efforts this year in whatever way is the best fit for you. And as always, we hope that you'll consider us a resource. We're always happy to come alongside you in your efforts to engage your community in support of educational attainment. Now I want to close with what gives me hope. You do, and our students do. The leadership, the strong partnerships, and the passion in the region, coming together, collaborating, and aligning our resources toward a common North Star, keeping our students and employers at the center of everything we do. This keeps me going and it gives me hope. The future of this region depends on our collective success, and we cannot afford to fail. Shown here are just a few examples of the cross-sector collaboratives underway all across the Northwest. It's my honor and my privilege to serve the Northwest, and it's my privilege to work with you. I now offer up a challenge to each of us to turn this important mission into a movement for our region and for our great state. Our students and our businesses are counting on us. So let's all ask ourselves, what can we do together that we cannot do alone. And then let's act. With every key stakeholder working collaboratively and aligning our region's efforts toward a North Star, we can and we will meet our region's goal of 90,000 and the state attainment goal of 2 million by 2030. In doing so, we will improve the economic prosperity for all our residents, our employers, our region, and ultimately North Carolina for generations to come. Thank you.